G'day everybody and welcome back to another Rosh Reviews, where today we are in an AU and not just any AU, guys. This is a 2002 AU LTD and 5-liter Windsor up front, full of luxury. This thing is class. Now these LTDs were first shown off in 1999 and it was kind of Ford's attempt to save the AU really, because it hadn't really taken off due to the styling, as everybody knows. This one, I actually do think looks really sharp. I absolutely love that front end. I love the rear end as well. It's definitely got a classy look to it. Now, these LTDs did get carried through the B series range as well, and then they did finish when the FGs came out. And I would say a minor success, because they really did not sell a huge amount of these because they were so expensive. But if you're lucky enough to have one of these, they really are an Aussie treasure. Now, the really interesting thing about this AU LTD is the fact that it's not technically a Falcon. This is an LTD. It's kind of its own thing. And Ford really tried to make you think this is not a Falcon, because they've changed the whole front end of this vehicle. You know, it's got different panels up front, a different rear end, and it does feel very, very luxurious, more so than I have to say any other Falcon I've been in. And this one being a 2002, this is a Series 2 technically, even though probably should be called a Series 3. They never did technically say they were. It's even got satellite navigation, and for a 2002, that is pretty baller, I gotta say. You know, the leather in here, the seats, the wood grain on the wheel, this is so cool. This particular one as well is just in such amazing condition. The owner has done a few tasteful modifications to this as well. It is lowered slightly. We do have those beautiful 18-inch Azure wheels, and I gotta say, it really makes this car pop. This is a big car, long wheelbase, and you get it around these hairpins. Oh, it's not as boaty as you would think because of that suspension upgrade, but again, this is 100% a cruiser luxury vehicle. You know, you really do feel like you're in your lounge just cruising the open road, and it's a great feeling. I absolutely love it. Now, under that bonnet, we have the glorious 5-liter Windsor, which is just an amazing engine in itself. From factory, these things pushed out about 185 kilowatts of power and about 412 newton meters of torque. This particular one has had some nice upgrades. So we've got a full exhaust system, we do have headers on this, high flow cats, and it has been tuned. So now this particular AU is putting those factory numbers actually to the rear wheels, and it's a healthy number. Now, all of these LTDs did come with that 5-liter Windsor, but if you did want to save a few pennies, you could have de-optioned this to an Intech VCT. They all did come with the 4-speed BTR, but if you're getting one of these, I really feel like you gotta have that Windsor. It's just proper luxury, you know, big long wheelbase, and you gotta have that V8 up front. Now let's just go ahead and talk about price quickly here, because if you wanted to get a brand new LTD back in the day, it was gonna cost you big time. We're talking about $70,000 starting back in 2002, and that was a huge amount of money. Now, on the used market, just finding one of these is going to be a challenge because they didn't make many. And if you do find one, the prices kind of are going to fluctuate. Somewhere around the $9,000 to $20,000 range, and it's only going to go up higher, I personally think, because especially if you find one in good condition, like this particular one, low Ks, it's a 100% a collector's car, and they're only going to appreciate these vehicles. They really are. And just in the driving position, it's so great. Completely comfortable, you know, just everything is quite easy to reach, get to. Great view all around. And these vehicles are just so comfortable. You know, you really couldn't think of anything better to go out on the open road here in Australia and just cruise. It's perfect Aussie back road cruiser, this car. Amazing. Now, again, just covering the interior of this car, it is absolutely gorgeous. And this particular one, it's in showroom condition. Even having the sunroof option, which is just so great to have. You do lose out on the sunglass holder, like in my particular BF Gia. That is kind of annoying. But the AU does save you here in the LTD, because in the door, you do actually have this little pocket that comes up, and it is a sunglass holder, a pipe holder, whatever you want to put in there. It is the perfect size. It's a 10 out of 10 for 2000's luxury. This was where it was at, definitely. And just a funny thing as well to mention is that all the LTD badges in this car, you know, I think the owner told me there's something like 20 LTD badges when you have the factory wheels still on this car. It's just, they really wanted to let you know this was an LTD. It's something that's funny, you know, me growing up in Canada, we had the Lincolns, and, you know, back in the early 2000s, those were the flagship Ford luxury sedans. And this AU, it really does bring a lot of that style from America, basically, here to Australia. You know, especially that C-pillar, you can really see the kind of styling cues there. And even going so far to the door panel where you've got this little sunglass cubby, that is basically directly out of a Lincoln Continental. And that's quite cool to see here in Australia. All right, guys, now 0 to 100. We've got the Draggy. We are, I'm actually not sure what this thing would get from factory. I believe the ultra rare TL50s that had the stroked out Windsor apparently were supposed to be something like 8 seconds, which I don't think it's going to be that slow. I feel like, you know, this is a big heavy car. I do feel like this is going to get something around, I'll be happy if it's in the 7s. So let's just pull up onto this road here. We have reset the Draggy, and we've got it in drive, traction control still on, build it up a little bit and go. So, ooh, go baby, go. Woo! Hey, when you really put your foot down, that Windsor goes, mate. Oh, that is beautiful. And the exhaust note really kind of awakens when you do that. Oh, you gotta love a Windsor. Let's have a look at what that time was. 0 to 100, guys, was done in 7.2 seconds. And that's a win. That's a really good win. And I wasn't even running through the gears there, which maybe would have given us a slightly quicker time. I don't think so, but 7.2, you know, this is a big, it's nearly 1.8 tons, this vehicle, and it's a 4-speed BTR. That's beautiful. This car is just absolutely gorgeous. Now, guys, please don't forget, we do have t-shirts for sale. I've got my merch, tons of cool Aussie cars on there, and we are doing a new merch drop very, very soon. And I've also finally done an AU shirt. So please make sure you guys do check out my store. The link is in the description below. And very soon, we will be releasing an AU shirt. Maybe we'll have to do an LTD shirt too. So there it is, guys, the LTD AU. This is an absolutely amazing AU, and just car in general. Luxuries, early 2000s, this was so good. So huge thank you to the owner for letting us take it out today, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here. We'll see you on that next video.